Good booktube, it's Monty here back again once again, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Duff, the Designated Ugly Fat Friend by Cody Keplinger. When I first started watching booktube videos, this was really a popular book, and so it's always been like on the back of my mind, like, do I want to read it? And so since the movie will be coming out at the beginning of next year, I figured I should probably read it, and so I read it yesterday, and now I'm going to tell you my thoughts. So I'm going to do this more on a character-by-character basis because I feel that the plot is very character-driven, and so it'll just be easier that way. So starting off, we have our main character, Bianca Piper, who is the so-called Duff in The Duff. And we start off, and we know that she doesn't like parties, she's very introverted, she's not the most attractive character in the world, but I just picture her as like sort of like this average girl who just like, you know, is average looking. I don't recall really ever getting any sort of solid description of her other than she's like 5'2", and so I was like, okay, so she's short and she's just sort of average looking, so I was never really confident like what made her the Duff, because even Wesley, who is the jockish, super attractive man-slut character, says she's attractive, just not as attractive as her friends. So there's never any sort of like description given for Bianca other than she's short and sort of less attractive than the blonde friend that she has who's like 6'2". So take that as you will with this. So that should have been the first sign that this book was not going to be the book that I thought it was. But let's just move on. As the book progresses, you learn more about her and her home life, which just isn't that so great. But I feel like that was just really a plot device, and so I never really connected to any of the struggle she was going through, because I just felt that it was only written into the novel to give this character, who would otherwise probably not be sleeping with Wesley, the reason for them to be sleeping together in the first place. I don't understand that, but I think, like, it didn't really feel genuine. This whole home trouble plotline just felt like it was there, so Bianca could use this to be like, I don't want to be home, and just go sleep with Wesley. And I just feel that, you know, if she wanted to sleep with Wesley, she should have just slept with Wesley, regardless of what was going on at home. Like, if you want to do that, and you want to get your freak on, go get it on, use protection, you know, be responsible, that kind of a thing, but that just wasn't what was happening in this book. And I'm sorry for all these hands. I feel like that looked really bad, but I can't do anything about that now. So I didn't like that character, and then Wesley, who's supposed to be the romantic interest of the, like, in the book, was sort of, he was an ass, and I liked him for being an ass, because he was unapologetically an ass, and he was an ass to everyone, and that was just who he was, and he owned it. But I feel like at the end of the novel, and this might be a spoiler, but I feel like Cody was upset that she had made this guy an ass, and so she did these things that didn't make any sense for this character to do or to say, and it didn't fly with me, because he had owned this the entire novel, and then in the last, like, literally 10 pages, he did a complete 180, and I didn't like that. And so overall, I didn't like this book as much as I expected. At the end, it's not a terrible book. It was a page turner, for lack of a better word. I wanted to get through it. I wanted to see what was going to happen. And when I found out what happened, I just wasn't impressed. So for me, this is a 3 out of 5 star book. The writing was compelling. It was decent enough, but I don't think I wouldn't classify it as a must-read for myself, but if you're into contemporary young adult fiction and you haven't read it, it's definitely worth the time checking it out, even though I do think that the relationship between Bianca and Wesley is really toxic, and I felt at times her motivation was a little just whatever. But that's my thoughts on the book. If you've read The Duff by Cody Keplinger, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until I see you again, guys, bye!